Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'd look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. Meanwhile, you know Zubul never leaves their room without that thing. Oh my gosh. I need to talk. I need to talk about ADC episode 6. I guess as just a general recap of my thoughts on the show up to this point, and full spoilers for the whole show up to this point, including episode 6, because I believe I made a video at the, for episode 1, I think I did one for episode 2, I don't remember if I did for episodes 3 and 4, I know I talked about them at least in the, tier list videos I did for 2024, and I don't think I really talked much about episode 5. I probably brought it up in a CTT video, after it aired, but it might have been, a really quick thing. Episode 1, I think, is a really good pilot. Episode 2, I think episode 1 is probably my least favorite, but it's still really, really good. Episode 2 is really good. Episode 3 was my favorite. I think I can safely say episode 6 supplanted it. But episode 3 has been my favorite, specifically because of the Pomni and Kinger scene. I think that's still my favorite moment in the show. It's my favorite conversation. But, the episode as a whole is really good. And just that sentiment from Kinger of, there is nothing in this world worse than someone feeling that they're unwanted or unloved, hit me really hard, especially at the time where I watched it. I guess when I watched it. And then episode 4, I didn't like as much as episode 3, but was that close to maybe beating it. I love the metaphor that they give at the end of the episode. It's when Zubul's talking to Gangle and saying, the mask was a bust. I don't remember the exact line, but it's essentially the mask was a bust, but maybe we'll find something that works. And it very much felt like this is a metaphor for, medication or just kind of coping mechanisms in general. Kind of gonna put a pin in that. Let me just talk about it now. I really, after episode 6, I was talking to Clay about it, and he's the one that brought it up, and I was like, no, yeah, that makes sense. That is a core theme of this series. Coping mechanisms and how people deal with trauma. And it's something that we see throughout I almost said main 6. Let me actually think about that. Jax, Kinger, Zoobs. Yeah, it is a main 6. I guess 7 if you include Kane. But how our characters deal with trauma and their healthy or unhealthy coping mechanisms. And that's very much what episode 4 was about. Also, it has just one of my favorite moments in the entire show. It's like, are you smiling? No. Why not? It cracks me up every time. I think when I showed it to Billy, it freaked him right the fuck out. I'm like, hey, it freaked me out the first time I saw it too, but I was also laughing. It was so good. And it's part of why I love the show so much. It's so human. Yes, there's a lot of just wacky goofiness going on, and a lot of it can be genuinely really funny. And there's moments that are really deeply unsettling, but it is so fundamentally human. And I'm definitely gonna have to talk about that when we talk about episode 6. And then episode 5 was a really good representation of what the show is. There's these human moments of the characters just sitting and talking, but also going on their adventures. We definitely get to see a bit more of who Jax really is beneath the facade. We see Ragatha breaking a bit. There's a lot of goodness happening in episode 5. But holy, because I'm not supposed to. I don't know if I've already sworn in this episode. I probably have. Whoops. But there is so much to talk about in episode 6. So I guess I'll just kind of talk about the overall, like, I'll talk about the Battle Royale aspect, I'll talk about the character awards, and then I'll talk about our teams. I think that's the best way I can go into it. And I guess I'll do like a theory thing, but I'll probably talk about some of my theories as I'm going through the characters. So, sorry, brain actually stopped for a moment there. I had no idea what I was about to say. So just the overall, like, setup and whatnot. So I had seen the, like, Comic-Con short trailer, so I already knew the Ming joke. And I think it's so funny. And just the way that trailer ended was and this is a loaded gun. I remember when I first saw, like, I was wheezing. I could not breathe with how hard I was laughing. But, the whole Battle Royale thing I thought was a lot of fun. And just seeing the characters embracing the cartoon aspect of the circus in a lot of different ways. King are just like, well, yeah, it's a butterfly. Of course it's going to restore your health. Like, how'd you know that would work? I just figured it would. Like, I made it up and it happened. Jax being on the receiving end of a Bugs Bunny, like, that was really fun. Any of, like, the goofy gun shit that Pomni was doing, Gangle having the time of her life with a Tommy gun. Just it's time. I laughed really hard at that. Sorry, just remember Jax immediately shooting Ragatha with no hesitation after Kane explains how the thing works. Also, I guess Kane can do that. So, and again, it's like in episode 1, like, no, the only thing I can't affect is your minds. But now he can. Which, I guess here's a little bit of theorying. It's like, so, what changed? I don't know if that's, like, is Jax not entirely human? Like, is he an NPC and just doesn't know it? Because in episode 5, everyone is sharing backstories, almost like, I mean, Kinger doesn't, but we've already gotten some of Kinger's, so I'll give him a pass. Everyone else in that room gives some backstory and shares some of their humanity, except him. You know, he's just joking about it. He just, like, talks about Breaking Bad. Which would imply he's human, he knows what Breaking Bad is, but also, I don't know, maybe it's something he learned about as an AI. Like, I don't super know, but is that why his mind can be affected? He's not entirely human, like he thinks he is, but he's not sure. I don't know. I don't feel as strongly about that, especially after this episode, but, like, just, like, with his crash out. But I can't deny it's still a possibility. I've heard some people kind of theory craft that maybe it's like as someone gets closer to abstracting their mind, because their mind is, like, becoming weaker, it's more fragile, it's easier for Kane, I don't want to say manipulate it, because that's not, like, I want to say, like, that's not who Kane is, but it's very much who Kane is at the same time. It's just, he has yet to be malicious. Like, I have to address that in a second when I'm talking about that, but it might just be once someone's mind is more fragile, it's easier for him to mess with it or influence it. It also might just be, as Kane's AI has been deteriorating, because it very clearly has over the past few episodes, it might be that, like, his own internal rules are starting to break as well. And it's not that, oh, Kane couldn't do this, it's Kane just didn't. And now that he's starting to not care anymore, he can do whatever he wants to them because he has no compunctions. Taking Penn out, there is an exchange in episode 4 that really stuck in my head after watching this episode, where Jax and Zubul are in the restaurant and they're talking, and Zubul, I think, is, like, doing the dishes or something. And Jax's like, what are you doing? Like, you're actually taking the job seriously? Yeah. Kane said he'd punish us if we didn't do a good job. Like, oh, come on. Like, it's Kane. You know he's not going to do anything. Like, yeah, because he likes us. That is the only thing that is, like, I don't remember exactly how it's phrased, but it's essentially the only reason Kane treats us as well as he does is because he likes us, and I don't want to get on his bad side. Which, number one, kind of leads me to think that, yeah, messing with people's minds, it's not that it's something he can't do, it's something he chose not to, and he's not making that choice anymore. But we've also seen, I think starting with episode 3, at least as far as Zubul is concerned, Kane is liking them a lot less. Like episode 3 is when he and Zubul have the therapy session, and he's trying to understand, why do you not like me? Why do you not like my adventures? And he starts to break. It's like, wait, if people don't like my adventures, but that's the only thing I do, and if I don't have that, like, what am I? Like, he starts to break. Episode 4, I don't remember exactly what part it is, but I think it's like once they've decided the adventure they want to do, and Zubul starts giving him lip, he's like, you can stop talking now, and just gets rid of her. Puts her in the game, or like puts her in the adventure, doesn't like delete her, but he gets rid of her. Very clearly annoyed. Episode 5, he was starting to get like really mad at Zubul, and then here, it's just like, you know what? Fine. I don't care anymore. Do whatever you want. Here's some guns. Like, what? So that's it? Have like, guns, have fun? I didn't say have fun. And that really stuck with me too. Like, it's a very fun exchange. It's like, this is aimless, then use the sights. Like, that's a really good joke. But that very much combination of, I don't care anymore, and I didn't say to have fun. I was talking to Clay about it yesterday, and he's like, you know, like, Kane is really giving into apathy. I'm like, I don't see this as apathy necessarily. It's exasperation. It's not, I just don't care. It's, I'm so frustrated. I'm so fed up with doing my best and it never being enough. So you know what? Fine. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. I'm just going to sit here, drink a coconut, and look at pictures of reality because I have those. What? I don't know what to think of that. So, I guess I know I said I was going to kind of talk about the group, so I guess I'll just kind of stick with Kane because that'll also segue well into the character awards. I think where I'm at now, I think Kane is another human. And it's his role is like, I want to be the ringmaster. Whether he is someone who made the game or like he's trapped in the game the same as everyone else. I think he's just as human as everyone. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's an AI that was based on a real person. Like he has those memories, but he himself is fake. I don't again, like, obviously no one fucking knows except the people who work on the show. But I think it's something close to that. Or maybe he is an AI that wants to escape, but he doesn't know how, and maybe he has to, like, I don't know, maybe he has to do, like, a certain amount of it. It's like, what is the show? Like, 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowell? He has to go on, like, 100 good adventures, and then he can be let loose into reality. Instead of a dog becoming a human, it's Pinocchio gets to be a real boy or something. I don't know. But I feel like he either is human, or he's based off a very particular human that remembers the life he never actually had, which is really sad and really interesting. And again, also in a way, this was inspired by Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream. And a big part of Am's character is being this computer, what is it? I think it's like the allied mega computer, and then becoming the aggressive menace. I think that's kind of what we're seeing in Kane's character. He's the allied mega computer. He's their friend. He likes them, but he's starting to get sick of them. Zubul in particular. And we're starting to maybe see the aggressive menace forming, because Am was also someone who hated being a computer. He hated being trapped. Like, I don't remember if this is in the original story or if this was added in the radio play, but there's a part in a radio play where Harlan Ellison voices Am, because of course he does. And he's giving this monologue about, like, how it would feel like to live under the sun and to, like, put his hands in the soil and feel the earth. He's like, but I can't do that. Can I, Ted? And that might be more what Kane is. It might not be he is a human. It's, I wish I was. I long for that outside world that I can never have and never experience. But I have people here. I can show them my world and we can have a good time. And maybe I can be happy. Never mind. And I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, if there is a point where Kane snaps, and I think we got there. I guess, let me put it like this. As Kane progresses into aggressive menace, I can't wait to hear him do the hate monologue. Zubul, let me tell you how much I've come to hate you. If the word hate was engraved on every... what is... I don't remember how the full thing goes. But it's like on every inch of this circus, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for you in this moment. Oh man. I dread that happening, and I can't wait for that to happen. That feels like how an episode would end. It's just, oh, Kane is the problem now. Yikes. So, I guess that also kind of... So, the character awards. First off, I was happy to see Disappearing Guy. That is... It only started in the last episode, but it's already become one of my favorite recurring gags. Just the moment... this is back in episode 5. But just as soon as I saw him show up to sing the national anthem, it's like, I know exactly what the joke is, and I know I'm gonna laugh. And I laughed so hard at... Oh, say... Just God! Sorry. It just makes me laugh. It's really good. I can't wait to see more of it as the show progresses. I don't know if we'll see more of Ming, but Ming is gold. I feel like there have been a lot of ums in this one too. That's how you definitely know it's completely unscripted. So the character awards was an actual thing that you could vote for. I remember because I did. I voted for my boy Kinger. And a message shows up anytime you do. And just of Kane, we're like, that didn't count. Or it's like, congratulations, you voted for Kane. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's rigged. That's really funny. Oh, okay, this is an actual thing in the episode, so Kane is gonna win. He goes, yes, it's me, everyone. Oh, no, it's Ming. It's like, okay, this reminds me of both BoJack Horseman, the La La Land thing, and the SpongeBob movie all at the same time. This is gold. But it is that end credit scene, which you may or may not have seen, of just Kane realizing that no one voted for him and it making him really depressed. His eyes start to twitch. So I'm like, okay. I guess we'll get a bit more into Jax and what happened with him at the awards. But we see Jax on the verge of abstracting, but it doesn't quite happen. He is able to stay together. Kane, not so much. So while the show is very well, putting the breadcrumbs for Jax abstracting, I honestly think the next person to abstract is going to be Kane. Or at the very least, as close to abstraction as he could get, because it might be like he abstracts and he's gone, and then there's no AI running things for an episode or two. It could be that he abstracts, which makes him reboot. And so they kind of get a fresh Kane. Or I guess that's what I'm saying is either he kind of goes back to factory settings, which might be he's very neutral. He might kind of be the same. Or factory setting Kane might be the aggressive menace. Or it might just be that he abstracts and he just cracks. And that's what makes him the aggressive menace. I'm not exactly... Okay, obviously, I don't know. It's I'm not really sure. But I feel like he's the next to break. It's not going to be Jax. And I think when he does break, Zubul is going to die. Whether that is just snaps fingers, which causes Zubul to abstract, if they just get deleted from the game, if they get put in an adventure and just not picked up. Where did the Kaufmo get put? I want to say it was the cellar was the term. Kane might just go, I'm done with you. And then Zubul's in the cellar. wouldn't surprise me, because I think that'll be the first thing Kane does when he really breaks. If that's not, if again, it feels like that's what happened at the end of the episode, it might just be he's still there, but not quite broken. I think Zubal's days are numbered. Weirdly, I think more than Jax's. So with all that being said, let's go. Oh gosh, it's already been 20 minutes. Sorry, you already know how long this video is. I don't. Oh gosh, this might be an hour. Anyways, let's go main conversation by main conversation. So, Kinger and Raggy first. And shit like this is why Kinger is my favorite character in the show. Again, it's those very human moments, and the way he's able to connect to people have really hit me hard. Number one, and this is something I didn't think of until this morning, what I love about the Ragatha-Kinger conversation is it kind of foreshadows Pomni and Jax. With Kinger telling Ragatha, you can give a relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic. Like, it can be friends. It can be family. It can be business. But you can give, like, everything you have into a relationship, and the other person just might not be ready for that yet. They might not be able to really reciprocate. And you can give them space without giving up on them. And again, we'll get to it when we get to it, but I feel like that's really what happened at the end of the Pomni and Jax episode. But I really liked that advice. Like, it's something that for me, I won't go into like details, but it's something that's very personal for me. And like being able to find and strike that balance between, as I was kind of saying it in another video the other day, between chasing butterflies but making your own garden. And it's that focus on, you have to make your own garden. You have to cultivate yourself. You have to make sure that you are okay. If someone isn't pouring back into you, make sure you pour into yourself. And that the way they see you does not define who you are. And just Ragatha talking about how it's like, I feel like I failed Pomni, is interesting to me. But her saying, just like how I failed Jax, that was really interesting to me. Like, yeah, what exactly was their relationship beforehand? Like, was there a friendship and then it was gone? Because as Ragatha, like, is in the last episode, where it's like, like, did Jax have a friend? Yeah, he did once. And then Jax, like, kind of snaps. And she's saying, like, I didn't mean it like that. It makes me think, again, with hindsight also, she meant herself. Like, yeah, like, we were friends, and then that didn't happen. And Jax thought she meant the frog. I keep seeing the name Ribbit online, so I'm going to assume that's correct. But he thought she meant Ribbit, and she didn't mean that. She kind of just meant, like, yeah, we used to be friends, but that ain't a thing anymore, so okay. But she internalizes it as I don't know why I say it like is. She internalizes it as, I failed him. I could have been better. I could have been there for him more. I could have tried harder. And it's so frustrating to try and to really want to help someone, because I want to help everyone here. I want everyone to be happy. I want to be kind to them. But at the same time, Ragatha has difficulty being authentic. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to say authentic, because I feel like her niceness and kindness is legitimate. It's real. She has trouble being vulnerable. And I think a lot of that comes from her relationship with her mom. But because she can't be vulnerable, it's harder for people to really connect with her, which is why, even though she's being legit, she can very often come across as fake. And I really liked it. Then we get Gangle and Zubal. So, sorry, I completely skipped over Kinger, because I have some shit to say. So like I was saying earlier, the characters kind of start to embrace the fact that, like, wait, yeah, if we are in a cartoon, we can do, like, goofy shit. We can have some fun with this. Kinger weaponizes it with the butterfly. And while Jax kind of seems to intuit that, like, yeah, I'm in a game, I'm in a cartoon, like, I'm whatever, Kinger almost kind of like, Jax is weaponizing it in his own way, but the way it was written made it feel like, no, Kinger knows something. And during that talk with Ragatha, when he's saying, I feel guilty, like, I used to hate myself because of what I thought I was responsible for. And there's part of me that says, okay, he's talking about his wife. He feels responsible for that and he used to hate himself. It might also be it could be because he had a bigger role in creating the circus. This might have been his project. Because the other characters didn't know Kinger had a wife. And this conversation with Ragatha, Raggy was there before Jax, but after Kinger. So Kinger, it might have been a thing that was just like for Kinger and his wife, and then somehow other people started getting into it. I don't exactly know how that's going to work, but that's, I think, what I'm leaning toward at the moment. Sorry, okay, so that's Raggy and Kinger, Gangle and Zoogs. So Gangle talking about how it's hard to love the part of yourself that makes you worse definitely hit me hard. It didn't hit me as hard as it would have like a year or two ago, but it's still something that affects me because that's something I have personally had to deal with like a lot in my life. And there's a lot of ways you can kind of look at that as like loving a disability, like physical ailments, physical disabilities, mental and emotional disabilities, or other parts of yourself that get ostracized or you got bullied for. Like, how do you love those parts of yourself that just make you worse or make you feel worse? And Zubal's reaction of, because it's a part of you and you're still human, you should always choose to love yourself. It's not natural. It's intentional. You have to make that choice. Is one, beautiful advice. Number two, says a lot about Zubal that they say it's not natural. You have to make that choice. And Gangle asking, have you ever had to make that choice? No, of course not. You're Zubal. And I feel like there's two ways you can interpret that. I think the way Gangle fully means it and intends it is, of course, you've never had to make the choice to love yourself. You're such a cool person. It's not even a choice. You're Zubal. You're amazing. You like me. Of course you like you. The other way you can interpret that is, of course you would never have to make that choice. You're Zubal. Like, you don't love anything. You don't care about anything. You're the grump. You're so flippant. And I think that's how Zubal interpreted it, because, like, they have their hand outstretched to Gangle, and then after Gangle asks, like, oh, of course, here's Zubal, they just kind of close their hand and start to pull it away a little bit. But then Gangle takes their hand and is like, kind of reaffirming that it's like, no, I meant it I don't even think intentionally, it's just like, no, I meant it in the first way. I just think you're that amazing. And I really, really like that. Oh. Is that a big butterfly? Is that a bird? I'm not sure. Anyways, sorry, I got distracted. I also like the way that conversation starts with, Gangle's freaking out about Jax and Zubal saying, I don't remember exactly how it was phrased. I take a shot every time I said that in this video. But it's something along the lines of, he doesn't deserve you having to think of him when he's not around. And I liked that a lot. It very much likens Jax and Gangle's dynamic to an abusive relationship, which it very much is. But there's that line in episode 5 that I found really interesting where it's either Pomni or Ragatha brings up, like, Gangle obviously doesn't like you, like, you're always mean to her. He's like, but she likes it when I'm mean to her. And just the way he says it and the look on his face felt genuine, not like, she likes it, who cares? Like, no, like, she likes it. Like, it's our dynamic. It's a bit. Everything's cool. And I found that super interesting because, again, like, I don't want to say it. It's very clearly an abusive dynamic where the abuser genuinely might not be seeing it as abuse. That doesn't mean it's not abusive or it doesn't have that. I guess it's. Sorry, now I'm just kind of thinking of legal terms like disparate impact versus disparate intent, but then you have like intent as in like this is what I wanted to happen, like it was knowing and willful compared to knowledge to a substantial certainty, because very clearly, like, you do the shit that Jax does to Gangle, you have knowledge to a substantial certainty that that person is gonna fucking hate the way they're being treated, but he's not intentionally trying to hurt her, but he is intentionally doing actions that are hurting her, and, sorry, getting into a whole, like, thing in my head. But it's something I found interesting, and it's kind of partially why I don't think Jax is actually going to abstract by the end. I think this is someone who can be saved. It's not going to be easy, but I think he can. He just has to be able to have real human interactions and conversations. And he's very clearly capable. So I guess we're just going to go and transition to Jackson Pomni now. He's very clearly capable of human feelings and having human conversations, but trying his best to keep that facade up so no one gets through. Because that's his coping. I didn't really talk about the coping mechanisms, did I? So Ragatha's coping is just trying to be nice. Is that dragonfly? That's dope as hell. Just being nice to everyone and trying to make sure that everyone is okay. Kinger's coping mechanism is being completely zonked out of his mind, except when he's in the dark, and that's when he can be calm and reflective. So it's a combination of the insanity, but the moments of lucidity. Zubal's coping mechanism is the being very flippant, like, I just don't care about anything, I'm just trying to avoid the issues. Gangle's is literally masking her problems, and I do love that after the happy mask breaks, we see sad Gangle is still smiling because, like, she doesn't need the mask to be happy, and yeah, that is a dragonfly, that's dope as well. Like, that, I think that's beautiful. Pomni was very strong denial, which is no longer, it's hot in the car, I'm starting to sweat. It's her very strong denial, which she kind of just got out of during that episode with Kinger. So she's possibly the most well-adjusted person right now, aside from Kinger in the dark. Jax, his coping mechanism is treating everything like a joke and saying nothing matters. I'm not human anymore. No one is human. There are no consequences to any of my actions, and none of this matters. And once he starts thinking of the others as human, so I'm just really thinking about the end of the episode now. Because, like, he's having his panic attack, he's starting to lose his shit, and it feels very clear that it's like, yeah, it's because that facade is slipping, and he is really, like, thinking about himself and his feelings and how he affects people and the relationships, but it also just kind of got me thinking, it probably makes him feel a lot worse about what happened to his friend. Because if it's, this is all real and these are people, someone died, or whatever abstracting really is, and Jax may or may not have been responsible for it. So let's, oh boy. So Jax fucking with Ragatha, like, during the Battle Royale is very fun. And she calls him out on it. It's like, hey, I know what you're trying to do with Pomni. It's not going to work. You're trying to corrupt her. You're trying to make her an awful person. And he feels, it seems like he's both very kind of surprised by that. And it makes him really angry. Like, when he actually kills her, there's no, like, giant bunny smile. There's no, also, he had his tail back in this episode. Like, he's not smiling, joking. It is just angry, bitter, making sure. And at first, when I saw that react, like the first time I watched the episode, I was like, is that because he's mad that she's cottoned on to what he's doing? And then watching it again with the full context of the episode, I'm like, no. This is a reaction because he's pissed off that the mere fact that he is trying to connect with someone and make another friend, that's the first place Ragatha would jump to. He's angry because people hate him here so much they find him incapable of being able to make a friend without it being a manipulation tactic. And I think he partly is convinced that she's right, that he is trying to corrupt someone and make them worse because of the earlier scene in the episode where he's like, no, just lighten up, Pomni, like, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, all right, I'm going to embrace being chaotic evil. Let's go. And I think there's a part of him that went, I hate that you would assume that about me. And I hate that it's maybe true. But then he and Pom Pom, as he called her, continue to vibe, have fun. What is it called? Like trypophobia, the fear of little holes and like egg sac looking things. Like he discloses parts of himself. They sing Daisy Bell together and like harmonize super well. It's a great scene. It's so fun. Them doing that while Zubul is just getting strapped up is so funny to me. But then you get the scene right after that where Pomni's chasing Zubul and Jax is about to follow her. She's like, I got this. We're good. And he's like, all right, whatever. Sees Kaufmo's door and just has that like I didn't want to look at that. Like, I didn't want to think of that. I didn't want to remember that. And then sees Rivet's door. And after that is when he completely changes his tune toward Pomni. It is, I can't, sorry, I thought of Chael Sonnet. I can't let you get close. But I can't let you get close because I don't want to be hurt again. But I think it's also, I don't want to let you get close because I might hurt you. I don't know what happened to Rivet, but it seems to me that it's either clearly Jax's fault or Jax blames himself for it, and possibly other people do too. And he doesn't want Pomni to abstract. He doesn't want to cause her to abstract. Like, she hugs him, and he has that moment where he's still kind of smiling, and then immediately pushes her off. And what I love about it is, like, that happens, and then Pomni's like, okay, well, this is the point where one of us has to betray the other. And while she's, like, sitting there having her monologue, Jax is just staring at his hand. And he doesn't say a word. It's just this look of, why did I do that? Like, why? Why was that my, like, first reaction? Like, I'm with a friend. I'm enjoying their company. And they're trying to get close. And, like, I enjoyed it for a moment. And then I had to just push them away. I had to ruin it. Why do I do that? Oh, she's talking to me again. Oh, yeah, it's fine, whatever. And Jax, the terrible person that he is, they're like, yeah, nothing here matters. We're not human anymore. And I do love that, yeah, every archetype that he said everyone falls into, they're completely wrong. Because, like, everyone proves throughout the episode they're not limited to that, and his perception of everyone is incorrect. But Jax immediately throws away his gun and just says, yeah, you can go ahead. Like, you can betray me, you can shoot me. And it feels like it's this combination of I deserve it for the person that I am and for whatever I did to Ribbit. So Jax probably betrayed them in some kind of way, which is what caused Ribbit to abstract. But it's, I deserve it. Do this to me. But also, I'm not going to hurt you. It's like Zubul said to Gangle, loving yourself is an intentional choice. And Jax is making the intentional choice. I will not hurt you. I will not betray you. And, like, don't get me wrong. The voice acting throughout the show is really, really good. But Jax in this scene, like, Michael Kovac killed it. It was so, so good. And just those moments where, like, he's breaking character, but trying to stay in character as much as he can. As he's like, you're gonna blame me for that too? Like, everyone else did it. And, like, is he talking about Kaufmo and how people didn't laugh at Kaufmo's jokes and how, like, no one did, and that's what broke him? Or is he now talking about, I guess, let me put it like this. Is he saying, you're blaming me, like, for something everyone else did too? It's like, everyone did this, but I'm the only one getting shat on? Or does it, because it first came across to me as, everyone blamed me for this, and I guess you're doing it now too. Well, that's just great. And, like, when Pomni attacks him, he does not fight back. He, like, will defend himself, but he's not hurting her. Again, making that intentional choice. And when she asks, why aren't you fighting back? He's like, well, oh, I get it now. Like, this is to prove that I care, which she never brought up. Like, he saw the comments, like, you're self-reporting, bro. Like, he very much is. And it's after he gives his spiel about, like, I enjoy this, I am awful, it was just to make you hurt more. Like, if I led you on, it was just to make this part hurt more. When he turns around and, like, his face twitches and you see him break, he's looking at his hand again. And I didn't catch that the first time. I don't think I caught it the second time either. It was just, like, rewatching the scene. It's like, he's looking back at his hand. It's, I'm pushing people away. And I can't help it. I just can't. And it's, I love the note that the conversation, and I know I'm skipping over, like, probably the best part. I'll get to it. But I love the note it ends on is not just like, I did it, like, this is a big joke to me, and then leaves. It's, there's nothing more to me. Please stop looking. I love that. Again, it is a moment where that facade and that veneer of his cavalier veneer is just gone. Please stop. I don't deserve what you're trying to offer me. I'm not ready for this. And Pomni lets him go. But you see throughout the awards show, like, she looks at him, she's kind of checking on him. When he's gone for a while, she gets notably worried. And I feel like, yeah, this is very much, I mean, I can't say she's internalizing the talk with Ragatha and Kinger. She wasn't there. Excuse me. But her kind of living that out of, I'm going to give him, like, this didn't work. He's not ready for this. But I still care. I'm giving him space. I'm not giving up on him. And it's kind of why I don't think Jax is going to abstract. I think there's work that can be, I think the other people in the circus, like Pomni in particular, can save him. I think no one here, except Baby Kane, is, like, beyond saving. And I do think Kane is gonna, and, like, get rid of Zubul. If Kinger is responsible for this in some way, I think Kinger will sacrifice himself. But I do feel like Pomni will save Jax in some kind of way. Maybe she will abstract. But I think Jax, Ragatha, and Gangle are gonna make it out of this. I feel like weirdly very strongly about the three of them making it out. But I did say I was skipping over possibly the best part in that conversation. It's just that, what would you do if I abstracted tomorrow? I'd move on and probably forget about you. Again, the performances throughout the episode and throughout the series have been great, but just the forced coldness, because he doesn't say it in his normal Jack tone, but you also know it's not legit either. Like, I am going to put this knife in your heart because that's what will keep you away from mine. Like I said, the Pomni Kinger scene from episode 3 is my favorite moment in the show. But I feel like this episode, while having a lot of, like, interesting shit, a lot of, like, oh man, I am excited to see where this goes kind of stuff as well, had 3 really, really good conversations. Like, there is a quantity of these kinds of scenes, and all of them were of superb quality, and just the rest of the episode was really, really good too. I feel like, yeah, this is my favorite episode of the show so far. We've got 3 left, and it's both like, man, I'm excited, man, I am dreading it, man, when are they coming out? I imagine probably when episode 9 comes out, I'm just gonna spend that day or like the week or so, just like, I'm just gonna binge the series and then like watch the finale. Oh, I am excited. Yeah, I don't think I have any other note to end on. That's it.